I'm Teresa Rodden. I'm the author, coach, and advocate for women to break free from the need to misuse alcohol, but also from the limiting beliefs, the half-truths, and the outright lies that we tell ourselves, that society impresses upon us, or that perhaps our generation has left us with. And I encourage and urge you not to look at, not to measure your success by the number of days you don't drink, but measure your success by the quality of your thoughts and how you are being and what you are doing moving forward into 2020. Today is day 10, and this is one of my top 10 subjects around my work, and that is we're going to be talking about what are you afraid that's going to change when you change, because you are connected to everything in your environment. So when you change, when you become different, it is absolutely going to impact things, but that doesn't mean that it can't be better. It just is going to be a little different. But before we get there, I just want to run you through the drill. If you have your journal handy, today I make a conscious choice to, what are you consciously choosing today? You are taking charge. You are intentional with the way that you're spending your day. And I choose this because be aware why you make the choices that you make. Are they your choices? Are they coming from a place of wisdom? Or are they coming from a place of reaction? Are they coming from a place of habit? And then how this supports my 28-day intention is always understand why you're making the choices that you're making. And so today's Holy Sober, we have a little Holy Sober insight here. She was my drinking partner. Nobody could drink with me like she could. My first memory is of my mom taking her out of the house on a stormy evening, drunk, and me crying for my babe. I was just 3, maybe 4 years old. She is my sister. I was afraid of how our relationship would change when I got sober. Today, we both live wholly sober, me for over 15 years and her for more than 11. Now, that is my sister. And I actually recently just posted about her on I don't know if I shared it in the Pink Cloud, but I did on my personal page. There's a picture of us where I had just been a few months sober and we're laughing together. And the thing is I had to, and I think I already shared this in one of the earlier videos, I had to consciously disconnect from her because the relationship of drinking was so established. That was, we were a trio, my sister, me, and beer. So I didn't know what it was going to be like. And I was scared of that, but I also wanted my freedom more. I got to the place where I could not live the way I was living anymore, and I wanted different. And I knew that if I was going to have a different life, I was going to have to be a different person and do different things. And so I created that absolute, I severed that line and I became who I wanted to be. And luckily she grew with me. So today's writing prompt is, what are you afraid? What are you afraid will change? And you have 2 pages here to kind of explore that. And again, when you're journaling, don't try to have the answers or make the right statements. Get curious about it. And today I'm going to share with you some of the most common things that I hear and that I've heard over the last 10 years that I've been working with women around this. I think it's really fascinating. And today when I was writing about it, it kind of even lit another thought for me, and that I will share with you. So the first most common fear of change that I hear is, I won't want to be intimate with my partner anymore, which is really concerning, because if you're only being intimate with your partner because you're drinking, I think that's a red flag that something else is going on there, right? So how else could you address that? What could you do instead of continuing to drink because you're afraid you won't want to be intimate with your partner? What is a long-term solution for that? Because you can't keep drinking because you're afraid that will change. Now, I know personally, my history is my stepfather used to hate when my mom drank, but he would actually give her the alcohol because he knew that if she drank, he would be able to have sex with her. And then she would become her emotional self and he'd end up beating the crap out of her. But we really have to, and I'm not saying that that's what's happening with a lot of I'm not saying that's what's happening at all with the women that I work with. I think we're talking about two different things, but that is a possibility. I mean, I watched that happen in my home. So why don't you want to be intimate? Why is it necessary to have alcohol in order for that to happen? Is there something you need to work on around that so you can be free to want to enjoy your partner's touch and to be intimate with them? And I think that could be an entire conversation in its own, and we could probably do a series on that. And then the next most common one I hear is not feeling part of the group, not feeling like they fit in, that, all my friends drink. So what am I, I want to be part of it. And I get that. I've never had that fear of missing out. I've never had that fear of not being part of a group when I go to a party and everybody else is drinking. It's not happened for me, but I get it. I really do understand it because it's common. It's so common. Everybody drinks and we want to be a part of that group. But again, I have to ask you, is that worth who you're wanting to become? Because if you're watching these videos, there's something in you that's wanting to grow and wanting to stretch and become the highest expression of who you are. And is it worth stifling yourself, stuffing that down so you can continue to be part of that group? Or maybe it's time to add new friends to your life, friends that don't revolve around alcohol. And I think that's becoming more popular these days. So I want you to just think about that. It really becomes about, what is your priority? What is your priority? Who is it that you want to become? What matters more to you is your personal development and growth. Because again, if you're watching this video, there's something in you that's beckoning for a higher self-expression of who you are. Or are you wanting to just fit in and being part of that group? And again, I'm very sensitive to that. I'm aware of that. I understand that. But I also understand the necessity of sometimes we have to break off in order for us to see who we really are. And I will assure you this, I have some of the most amazing friendships and long-term friendships, and they are deep. And we don't ever drink together. We've never drank together. We find other things that we have incredible, intelligent conversations. We go camping, we go to the beach, we go to nice restaurants, we try new food. We do a lot of other things. So just give that some thought, okay? And then I'm afraid, what I'm afraid of is that the doldrums, that blank space. What do I do with my time? I used to fill it up with drinking, grab a glass of wine, the kids are off doing whatever, and you sit in front of the TV and there's your companion, it kind of soothes everything. So how do I fill that space and time? And there's really no easy answer to that, except that invest it more in yourself. Invest it in really making those strong connections with your children. Send a thank you note to somebody. Start doing some mantras or try different yogas, or try a different dance, or get creative, start expanding your world and start doing some searches. One of the homework assignments I gave a client this week was to start creating not a bucket list, but like a list of things I'm vaguely curious about. That way you have a go-to. You have a go-to when you find yourself in those doldrum spaces that you can kind of like reach in the hat and this is what I'm going to try. Have yourself a list of things that you can do. And when you find yourself in that doldrum space, reach in the hat, pull it out. And maybe it's something that you can't like go out and do, but you could start researching. You could start collecting information. Okay, so our closing quote for today: taking a new step, uttering a new word is what people fear most. So I want you to reach into your heart where courage lies. And I want you to be bold, and I want you to fill your life with new experiences that will expand you and develop you into, again, your highest self-expression, because that's what the world needs most right now. Not another drinking buddy. Not that there are things wrong with drinking. Again, I don't preach abstinence, but I do know that if you're here, it's because you're wanting something different. And I want what you want most for you. So that's it for day 10. Oh, no, I wanted to do one more thing. I wanted to share this with you. This is a bay leaf. And whenever you're wanting to let go of something or you're wanting to call something in, oh, thank you. We can simply get ourselves a bay leaf, have a little, I have myself a little salt candle here that I light every time. And then you simply write what you want on here. I wrote freedom for us. We want freedom from doubt. We want freedom from disappointment. And we're going to burn that, and we're going to ask for that from the universe, from God. And so we'll just set that baby on fire and listen to it crackle, and it smells so good. That really caught on fire. It did good. And that's our closing ceremony today. So try it out. Would love to hear from you.